Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope you are well being fine at home. As we have to stay home, so you have to take care of your study also. As always, you have to read your books. You have to write some sentence regarding your nature and all the things. So you can do your study at home also. Now we start our lesson number 4, nutrition in living organism. In last lecture, you have studied about the nutrition in living organism, that is in plants. And now we are going to continue with nutrition in animals. See, in that we are going to learn about the nutrition in animals, types of nutrition in animals. How many types are there? There are the three types. That is the holozoic nutrition, parazoic nutrition and parasitic nutrition. These three types we are going to learn in this lesson. Now, page number 13, nutrition in animal. This concept refers to the body's need for nutrition made of the ingestions food and its use in the body. Which are the various nutrition in food? For what purpose are the nutrition used? Now why these nutritions are used, in which body it is used, that all details you are going to study in this lesson. Nutrition necessary for various activities of the body are obtained from food. They are supplied to the various parts of the body through blood. The food that we consume does not mix with blood as it is. It needs to convert into soluble forms that can easily mix in blood. Nutrition in animals involves various steps from ingestions and exgestions. Okay. See, for our body, we require the nutrition, and from where we got the nutrition, that whatever we eat, like the food. Okay, but food is not directly involved, or it is soluble, it is absorbed in the blood. That the food is digest, then it makes the one liquid, soluble fluid, it is mixed in the blood, and so our all the functions are working properly. So there is a nutrition in animals involve various steps. From that means our first step is about the ingestions to exgestions. Okay, there the this from this there between the many steps are followed. As steps in nutrition given, first one is the ingestion. What is the meaning of ingestions? From this only we can come to know, that is in. Okay. Then food is taken into the body, that we eat, or what we take food inside the body, that is called the ingestions. Then digestion. Digestion all of you very well know, right? From the first, third standard only we come to know about the digestion. Digestion, that means conversion of food into simple soluble form. Whatever we eat, that it converted into the simple soluble form. Okay, into the soluble form. Then third is the absorption. Transfer to soluble food to the blood. See, that soluble form are transported into our blood. Then next is fourth step is assimilation, utilization of absorbed food by cells and tissues for energy production, growth and repair. See, from our body, from the leg to head, the blood is circulated, right? But this blood, this nutrition is absorbed by the cells which are present in our body. This cells absorb this blood, these cells absorb the nutrition from the blood, and they for the well functioning of the our body, and to give the energy growth for our body. Then fifth step is the ingestions. Removal of waste products and undigested food from body. In we can say excreta also, right? Excreta. That means the wastage of our body. It is called the excreta. But this is the step called the egestion. Egestions. Okay, that means the removal of waste product from our body. Then page number 31. Observe the animals around you and complete the following table. Now you can observe this and you can complete this. You must have observed that there are different methods of ingestions of food in different animals, like swallowing, chewing, sucking, scrapping, gnawing, etc. Right? Other animals have the different habitats of the that they intake the food, like the cows, always the chewing, mosquitoes sucks our blood, right? Like the other all the animals have their different habitat of the taking the food. Then now next our topic is types of nutrition in animal. Which types of nutrition in animal? First one is the hologosic. That is hologosic nutrition. How does ingestions occur in unicellular animals like amoeba? See, in this we are going to study about the ingestions of the unicellular. Unicellular means that means the animal which have only one cell. Okay, it is called the unicellular. And it is example is amoeba. Amoeba does not have organs like hands and mouth. Have you saw the amoeba have the mouth and hands? Hand it is okay, but mouth we cannot see the mouth also of the amoeba. It is a unicellular animal. It can take in food through any part of the surface of its unicellular body. It surrounds the food particle from all sides to take it into the cells. After that, it digests the food with the help of different enzymes. See, the amoeba does not have mouth, but it can be take food from any surface of its body. Okay, like actually we know the amoeba does not have any shape also. He can be move in any way. Okay, as here given there is the amoeba and this is the food particle. Okay, it is the food particle. Then amoeba can be take this food particle by from his any sides of his surface, like from here. See, from this part we take to this food particle inside his body. You can see there is a food particle, and here the we intake that food particle inside his body. And this is the nucleus, unicellular body. That is amoeba have the nucleus. We can see here. Okay, this is the process about the food intake of the amoeba. Then after it digests the food with the help of different enzymes. How the amoeba digests the food? Because of different enzymes. Undigested food is left behind as amoeba moves further with the help of Pisipodia. That means the whatever that means the wastage product is left by the Pisipodia. In unicellular animals like amoeba, Euglena, Paramecium, etc., all the steps of nutrition occur within their unicellular body. Insects have mouth parts for ingestion of food. For example, insects like cockroach and grasshopper which neither have jaw-like mouth parts. See, have you saw or observed the cockroach, how they intake their food? They have the mouth, right? Can you see that? Just if you not see, observe that cockroach mouth part. Okay. Then butterflies. Butterflies suck food with a tube-like proboscis. See, have you saw the butterflies have the like the tube at the part of his mouth? He has like the tube part. Like if you observe the mosquitoes, how they suck the blood, right? So the butterflies also sucks the honey from the flower. Mosquitoes sucks the blood from our body. Like that, taking intake the food. Then mosquitoes and bloodbugs use needle-like mouthpart to pores and tube-like mouthpart to suck blood or other fluid. Like the butterfly suck tube-like proboscis and mosquitoes has the tube-like mouthpart to suck the birds. That means all animals, different animals have their different parts for the intake of their food. That means all have the mouth only, but it is the different structure. Then observe and discuss. How will you classify the following animals according to their food? There is some pictures given of the animals, but all the animals have the different way to take intake of the food. That we are going to learn. Page number 32. According to the types of food, animals can be classified as first one is the herbivorous. What is the herbivorous? From the name only we come to know what is the herbivorous. See, herbivorous. That means from this only we come to know that is the herb. Herb means what? The plant. Herbivorous, but don't take this part. Herb. From the herb only we come to know that means the plants. The herbivorous use plants directly as their food. Example are grazing animals, granivorous, that means seed eaters, and frugivorous, that means fruit eaters. The herbivorous, that means they directly eat the plants, that is called herbivorous. The example are grazing animals. There is a different examples in that. Like we can say granivorous, that means they always eat the seeds, and the frugivorous, that means they eat the fruits. Then next is the carnivorous. What is the carnivorous animals? Animals that depends on other animals for their food are carnivorous. The carnivorous are indirectly depend on plants for food. Example are animals that feed on herbivorous, that is the predators, animals that feed on insectivorous. See, the carnivorous, that means they depend on the other animal for their food, but they indirectly depend on the herbivorous. That is, indirectly they depend on the plant. How? Because like the carnivorous animals eat the other animals who eat the plants, like predators is called the predators, and the animals that feed the insect they call insectivorous. Okay, these animals ate by the carnivorous. The omnivorous, third part is the omnivorous. Animals that obtain their food from both plants and animals are called omnivorous. For only depend on the plant, it is the herbivorous. Depend on other animals, it is carnivorous. And those animals are depend on plants and animals for their food, it is called the omnivorous. Example of that is the monkey, chimpanzee, and human. We also eat the plants, vegetables, right? Leafy vegetables we use. We are depend on the plants. Second thing, we eat the animals also, like some of the people eat the fish, meat, all the things. That means they depend on the animals also. So they call the omnivorous. Some of the organisms around us perform the function of cleaning and conserving the environment by the very act of feeding themselves. They are called scavengers and decomposers. See, the some organisms which clean our surrounding by feed them. Okay. The example are, it is called the scavengers and decomposers. The scavengers and decomposers, what they mean? Now this fourth number. The scavengers obtain their food from dead bodies of animals. For example, vultures, crow, hyena. Okay, the scavengers obtain their food by the dead bodies. Like many times we saw the some animals' dead bodies are there on the road or at the place, and it by the crow, vultures. That means these animals are depend on this dead bodies, and they indirectly clean our environment also. Then next is the decomposers. The are some microbes which obtain their food by decomposing the dead bodies of organism or other animal. Decomposers means whatever the dead bodies are there, that this organism compose their dead bodies. Okay, that means after some time, after many months, if you cannot see there is any bodies, because it totally decomposed by the microbes. Next is the second part. First we are learn about the hologenetic nutrition, that is in that depending on the food and the animal, there is other three parts are given, like the herbivorous, carnivorous, omnivorous. Next fourth is the scavengers and decomposers. Now our second type of nutrition is the saprogesic nutrition. In that, the some insect, unicellular animals, etc. obtain the nutrition by observing the liquid organic material from the dead bodies of other animals or from the environment. See what they are given. The some insect or unicellular animal, they intake their food by they intake nutrition by observing the liquid organic material from the dead bodies of the animals or from the environment. Then this is called the saprogesic nutrition. What is the example of this saprogesic nutrition? It is the house flies, ants and spiders are the example of saprogesic nutrition. Then next is the parasitic nutrition. Our third type is parasitic nutrition. Have you seen small animals on the bodies of animals like dogs and buffaloes? Which are those small animals? See, many times we saw there is some small animals on the dog, buffaloes who have the farm agriculture, who have the buffaloes, maybe they can be observed. Otherwise, in many times we can see on the dog bodies also there is some small animals. Then what is that? Some animals depend upon other animals for food. They can be obtained the food only from animals on whom they are dependent. This is called the parasitic nutrition. See, some animals are depend on the other animals and they obtain the food from that animals only. These animals are called the parasitic nutrition. This is called the parasitic nutrition. Some animals live on the body surface of other animals and obtain their food by sucking their blood. This is called the ecoparasitic nutrition. See, in that also, parasitic nutrition means what? The animals obtain their food from animals on whom they are dependent. This is called a parasitic nutrition. And second is the ectoparasitic nutrition. That means the animals who are living on the other body of the animals, other animals body for their food. It is called the ectoparasitic nutrition. And such animals are called ectoparasites. Parasites, for example, louse, bedbug, tick. Have you saw the bedbugs, tick, louse that they are depend on the or they are living on the surface or body of the other animals for their food. So such animals are called the parasitic. That such animals are called the ectoparasites. Okay. Then animals like tapeworm and roundworms live inside the body of other animals and obtain their food. This is endoparasitic nutrition and these animals are known as the endoparasites. See, the animals like tapeworm and roundworm. Okay, these are for their food. They are living inside the body, other animals' body. Okay, and this is called the endoparasitic animal nutrition, and the animals are known as the endoparasites. See, there are the different name is given according to their animals how they are taking their intake of the food. Then first we learn about the parasitic nutrition, then endoparasitic nutrition and in ectoparasitic nutrition. So I hope you understood about all this nutrition in animals, types of nutrition in animals and how they are divided. There is how they classified according to their food also. So again go through it, read it carefully.